Ah, yes. A peaceful night in the forest. Oh, oh man. Is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it? Oh, come on, do it, troll. Come on, troll. Wreck it. Wreck it. Oh, yes! Oh! Yes! Wreck it, troll! He's a completely randomly wandering AI. And oh yes, yes. Oh. I was gonna do like a little funny intro where I go in the house, but then the troll walked up, so I was like, should I try and get him to do it? I don't know if I'll be able to get him to do it. Uh, and he showed up. He showed up on the first time I hit record. Thank you, troll. So, yeah. Well, he kind of spoiled the surprise, but I was gonna come in here and then start blowing blowing holes in my inn. Ah. So I went through and after a lot of tweaking and fiddling with stuff, got chaos fracture from my building, feeling not terrible. It's still not finely tuned, but you know, like I kind of don't want that damage propagation to work quite like that. I want to blow. So there's definitely, but it works. It's working good in some places. So I got to figure out what's different about that one specifically. But there you go. Some of these longer ones, well, that was work better. Maybe I need to lower the. So, um, but yeah, yeah. Brrr. I wanted to leave sort of enough of a frame around things like doors and like sort of enough of a kind of a pillar around things so that it feasibly feels like it could stand still because you know um, this isn't a game all about destruction, but I do want to blow some stuff up. So uh, now I feel like I want to go in and change the projectile on this gun to be a fireball. Uh, so did he also knock all the jars off the table? I think he did. So, yeah, I guess I'll go over a little bit of how I'm doing this and enjoy this this October uh, evening. At least in the game world, it's October right now. I think October 15th. Ooh, some nice fall lighting with my day night system I got. Which I think I talked about that previously, but I might go over it again at some point here soon. Um, but yeah, I'm using a level instance. This I don't know if this is going to be my final approach for sort of how destructible spawnable buildings will work. I still have to see what spawning a level instance is like, and if I have to go make, I imagine I might need to make. I don't know if it's possible to make a custom PCG node to spawn level instances. If not, then I'll have to go think about, hey, can I go reproduce this in like a pack level blueprint or some kind of an actor based approach? But the level instance thing is pretty cool because you got here, you click on it, and then you can go in here and you hit edit. Everything else grays out, and then you can come in here and click on the geometry collection. So actually, it was actually not too bad. I'm not sure I would do it again in the exact same way that I've done it here. And there's a few bugs and some things along the way, um, and some frustrations with a few things. But overall, pretty cool workflow. So I came in, like I built the house in the level, in the main level, and then I converted it to a level instance. And then in the level instance, I went in and selected sections of wall chunk to turn into geometry collections using the fracture tool set here. And there's still I'm still working out a few things, but I ended up turning all of my object types to sleeping. And after fracturing, I would go through, and actually I can go ahead and kind of show what the, where are we at here? We'll go ahead and turn on show bone colors. By the way, if you enable nanite on these geometry collections, then show bone colors does not work and selection does not highlight. And it is very, very frustrating. So somebody at Epic, pretty please fix that. So my kind of process here was I went through and I took all the static meshes in here, and I actually, before fracturing, like this wall was 2 or 3 static meshes, I did a mesh combine with the geo merge over here, and then I dialed in on using cluster with modifying some of the cluster settings. And since I didn't make any of this art, right, like there's some nice tooling in here of like adding samples for collision is nice, because if your wall is real low poly, this will kind of go in and subdivide it, I feel like, is what I think it's doing basically, so that you have more points to sample from. The cluster was, it feels pretty nice for like sort of like generic break kind of a feeling. I haven't decided if I want to try and, it's a combination of stucco and wood. I don't know if I want to do a more wood-based approach or whatever, but and then after going through and running the fracture on it, I would box select using this interactive selection mode here. You can come in and do a little bit of that, and you can see right now, but what I basically did is I selected all of my outside edges just with a little bit of a, like that, and then I did another geo merge on those, and then I'd have to go find that fragment, and then you'll see that I set that fragment to, another thing that's annoying is this keeps changing away from the thing you set it on. Epic, please fix. And one other thing that's slightly annoying is you can't sort by these things in here. And I would dearly like to be able to sort, because if you were going to go in through in here and set a whole bunch of fragments, states, it'd be nice to be able to say, hey, I want to sort so I can select all my kinematic fragments or all my other fragments, etc. So I kind of come in and then turn that one big fragment into kinematic and anchored. I don't know if both are necessary, but it's behaving now. I also have some anchor fields that have been set in the initialization fields. I want to test if I no longer need those now that I'm using this kinematic per fragment sort of kinematic and anchor setting. Hopefully I don't, because that would be nice. When I wasn't setting these things to kinematic and anchored, the whole building, side of the building would fall off. Yeah. And then one of the things that does kind of suck right now, Epic, here's another thing for you to fix. Pretty please. I mean, I love this. This is amazing, but pretty please, you got to fix the if you're using nanite, you can't see or select anything, so that's a big problem. But also importantly, right now, these walls that are geometry collections are not contributing to the Lumen. Let me hit save all. Sure, why not? Hopefully I didn't break anything, whatever. And they're not contributing to the Lumen global illumination. And it was pitch black in here. But what I did do was I went in and turned on, actually we can go look at it in my day-night. I got this full year day-night cycle drag and drop blueprint. But if you come in here to it has post-process, height, fog, clouds, all that crap. I just want one. Drop it in the world. Here's your day. Here's your environmental settings. If you come into your post-process volume and go to your details, under Lumen Global Illumination, under Advanced, there's skylight leaking. And you'll see if I come in here, it's like super. If I turn it off, it's like pitch black in here. So I turn on just a little bit, like 10%, because I mean I'm planning on having some torches and stuff in here anyways, and some of the stuff in here does bouncing, like the ceiling does the contributes and the floor contributes. The walls aren't. If you look at the, where is the freaking let's leave fracture mode and let's go to Lumen. The overview mode is nice. So, oh, interesting. Earlier, the walls were showing up in the reflection view with the hardware ray tracing, but now they're not. Now the surface cache isn't either. I probably changed some settings somewhere. But anywho, no matter what I did, I got it to the point where they were showing up, but I suspect that the geometry collections are not creating mesh distance fields, and I didn't find any setting that would let me do that. But I might do some crafty stuff later with sort of like a mesh swap to the geometry collection, because once the wall's blown all up, if it's not contributing as much to Lumen, that's okay. Lit. We're gonna blow that up one more time. Heck yeah. Because yeah, like once it's blown up, the light's gonna come in anyways. So, oh man, I forgot to pick up the gun. Out of my way, barrels. Brr. I'm a bad mofo. I shoot on my walls. Brr. So yeah, like once you blow the walls apart, you don't really. They wouldn't be contributing much anyways. And this wall lost its material in some kind of I combined a geometry collection with a static mesh into a new geometry collection, and there was some wonky stuff that happened when you do that. And if you try to undo that, it crashes Unreal. So just so you know, did submit my crash report on that one. But yeah, destruction. And I'm just picturing being like a freaking barbarian swinging a club into the wall, ripping into the end, or a wizard, and you're trying to fight the troll, and you cast a fireball too close to the end and blow a hole in it, and freaking awesome. Brr, take that, troll. I'll shoot you in the butt with my tennis balls. So yeah, there's a little quick overview of my current approach. I'm not sure it's gonna be, like I said, not sure it's final approach. I'm just playing around with the interaction of these systems of chaos, and how it interfaces with, my first time playing around with chaos, but also, using chaos inside of a level instance as a sort of a repeatable, placeable blueprint. Object, and I'd like to sort of populate the inn with a bunch more interior stuff and game actors, and use PCG to actually handle some of the spawning for some of that stuff. I'm gonna have to try and figure out what I want to do what do I want to do for like decorations on the walls. That might get a little complicated. We'll have to see. Maybe I'll deal with some tapestries hanging from the ceiling and some floor stand lamps so that the walls feel like they got stuff on them. But then, we don't leave, either A, floating stuff, or B, having to have a complex system of like, well, the wall broke, so please tell the painting on the wall to wake up and fall to the ground. So we'll see. But like I said, this is maybe a couple hours work. So, but I'm excited, and I'll take I'll take a destructible inn that's maybe poorly decorated over a static inn. I think this will be more fun. We'll see. Who knows? I'll have to see how it scales and performs and other stuff. There's settings for making these fragments go away on sleep. But at one point I shot the wall and then it cracked, right? And then once it fell back asleep, the wall just started shrinking and disappearing. It looked really hilarious. Boop, boop. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, it sounds like there's food ready. Happy Friday. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Toodaloo.